Well, we have a big plastic yellow nose cone, pretty heavy duty actually. Sitting behind that is a little camera module. It's got a couple of Canon digital cameras in it, which will get dumped out at apogee and take pictures all the way down, just lots of shots, just digital still cameras. Okay. There's two cameras basically looking 180 degrees. And then of course there are parachutes that's in behind them. The altimeters bay is in this section. There's two MissileWorks altimeters in there. Okay. And then the main parachute's a big Cert 3 Sky Angle XXL. And then this section of course slides over the booster section, and this is the mirror for the camcorder we just loaded in the booster. I just put blue tape over it to keep the dust out until I'm ready to launch. So that will allow the camcorder to look down at liftoff, and then as I said at apogee, this goes with the front part of the rocket.
Okay, so now at apogee it breaks what there?
It breaks right here.
Breaks there.
And then there's also, the nose cone will drop out. There's actually a piece of fishing line in here. It's 50-pound test line that's holding that nose cone on so that it burn out. It doesn't, the negative G's don't drop it off. Okay. But at apogee, there's some igniters in here that'll burn that line and allow the nose cone to drop, and the cameras and everything fall out. There's no ejection charge. There's a little mounting jig that will mount it into the payload bay and sort of hold it at the right angle to look out the side. There's a mirror in the side of the rocket which will let it look down the side as it takes off. And then the mirror is attached to the upper body tube. So at apogee, when the rocket separates, the mirror goes with the upper body tube, and the camera, which is in the booster section, is then basically looking out at the horizon as it's coming down. So you get both views then. You're looking down when you're going up, and you're looking out when you're coming down. And with the battery power and the SD card that's in here, it'll run for about an hour of video. But in there is a rat's nest of wires plus the timers. Those are the those are MissileWorks PET timers, okay, which will fire off the outboards. And at this point, we just drop this in. Lens looks out and then lock it in place.
Oh, look at that tool.
It's basically, it's 4:30 local time, so we got about an hour before that camera expires. Let me get where I can see it. Well, I guess I can't. There it is.
You're right on it.
Well, that is pretty close. Anybody in there? That's a lot closer than when I started hitting it. Switch is behind these holes, which right now all the outboard igniters are disconnected from the timers.
So that's all you got. And
they're shunted. And by flipping all the switches, I can release the shunts and hook them up to the electronics and turn the electronics on. Not necessarily in that order, but...
The electronics are way up there where the yellow bars are there?
No, the timer's right in here for launching the outboards. The timer, we looked at the timer in the video camera. This is a piece of monofilament fishing line just to pull the connector apart, which starts the timers for the outboards.
So what's that camera for?
This is a video camera for a nice high view of the rocket from up above at launch.